Now, there's only one place in all of Rocky Mountain National Park that requires a timed entry reservation beginning at 5 a.m., and that's Bear Lake Road. Well, you might be wondering, why in the world do they have it so early? And why is it so hard to get into the Bear Lake Road area? Well, that's because it's one of the most beautiful areas in Rocky Mountain National Park, and it is certainly the most popular area of the park. Everyone wants to head up here. So if you're curious about what lies up Bear Lake Road, then join me today as I'll take us on a gentle drive up Bear Lake Road and show you the highlights, where to stop, what to see, and what to do on your way up. Well, today's focus is going to be on easy access locations, gentle lakes to stroll around, places to have a picnic, great places to stop and enjoy views or watch wildlife. I'm not going to cover some of the many hikes that take off from there. I'll save those for another video. So today's focus is on places you can easily access from your car or very nearby. Well, I think you're going to enjoy this one, especially if you haven't been up Bear Lake Road before. So let's head out. Just after you enter the national park through the Beaver Meadows entrance on Highway 36, take the first left. This is the start of Bear Lake Road. Now, if you're visiting between late May and mid-October, then your first stop will be right at the start of Bear Lake Road at the checkpoint where you show your timed entry reservation. Now, if you don't know what that is, then check out my video on the timed entry reservation system. I'll put a link to that in the notes below. After a brief check by the rangers, we're on our way. Now, the road starts with a few twists and turns, and then in just a couple of minutes, we arrive at Moraine Park. Turn left at the first intersection, and that will take you up to the Moraine Park Discovery Center. Now, I like to start here because you can get a great view over Moraine Park. Moraine Park is a large mountain meadow carved out by a glacier. The forested hill on the south side of the meadow is actually made up of glacial debris called a moraine. After spending a while enjoying the stunning view, be sure and stop in the Discovery Center, where you'll find interactive exhibits, ranger programs, and you'll even find some of my books and calendars in their store. From here, head back down to Bear Lake Road, but instead of turning, continue on straight ahead. This road will take you along the northern edge of Moraine Park. Now, I hope you bring your binoculars with you, as this is one of the best places in the Bear Lake corridor for wildlife watching. As you drive, be sure to keep your eyes open. There are sometimes large herds of elk in these meadows, especially in the spring and in the autumn. You can also spot coyote and many other smaller creatures out in the meadow. Now, as you drive down this road, you'll turn left just before you enter the Moraine Park campground. There are great views all along the way, so stop as often as you like. Just be sure to use the designated pullovers, and please do not park on the vegetation. It's quite delicate. I recommend driving as far as the Cub Lake trailhead. Then, if you have time, park at the trailhead and take a short walk along the path. After just a few minutes of walking, it will lead you out to the edge of the meadow for a more secluded view of the meadow and its wildlife. We'll now return to Bear Lake Road and turn to the right. Keep your eyes open as we leave the meadow, and on your right side as we cross a bridge, you may see the Big Thompson River crashing over the rocks. Well, at least during the spring and early summer. You'll then enter a forested section of road. Now, most people drive through here without giving it a second thought, but there's a gentle and beautiful trail on the south side of the road which I highly recommend taking. Just park at the picnic area on the left, which is shortly after you pass the bus stop. Continue along Bear Lake Road, and at the first sharp left turn, take the road that heads off to the right. Now, not many people come here. This is Hollowell Park. It is a quiet spot away from the crowds with a number of really nice picnic areas tucked into the trees. If you bring lunch with you into the park, this is a terrific place to come and enjoy it. Also, you'll sometimes find wildlife grazing in the large meadow here, which can be quite enjoyable. Now, the trail that departs from here is very quiet and one that meanders through the meadow before climbing up through the forest alongside a small stream. I sometimes hike from here to get away from the crowds. We'll now return to Bear Lake Road and turn right. During this next stretch, you'll get some great views of Long's Peak. After about a mile and a half, we reach Park and Ride. This is where you can park and catch the bus up to Bear Lake. The parking lots near Bear Lake typically fill quite early in the morning, often before 7 a.m., and so most people will park here and take the shuttle up. The free shuttles to Bear Lake and back run every 10 to 15 minutes from late May through mid-October, from 6:30 in the morning through 7:30 in the evening, so they're running pretty much any time you might want one. Now, one little known thing about Park and Ride is that on the very back side of the parking lot, you'll find a trailhead. Now, the trail here is a little rocky and steep at times, but it will lead you up to Bierstadt Lake and even up to Bear Lake. I regularly use this trail when the shuttles are busy or when I just want a quiet walk. Continue another mile down Bear Lake Road and then take the left turn for Sprague Lake. It is located next to Glacier Creek Stables, where you can take horse rides. Sprague Lake is one of those must-see places in Rocky Mountain National Park. There's a large parking lot here, so you may be able to find a parking spot. Now, I highly recommend that you take the walk around the lake. It is 0.8 miles around the lake, and it has a beautiful wheelchair-accessible path around it, making it ideal for both young and old. Now, be sure to walk at least to the far side of the lake, as this is where the best views are. From here, you can see the mountains looking down on the lake. And I especially like to come here early in the morning when the mountains are lit with the warm morning light. Now, while you're here, keep your eyes open for moose, as they sometimes hang out in the shallow water. On this recent morning, a mother and baby were here enjoying the lake. As you return to Bear Lake Road and continue onward, the views soon become stunning, with Hallett Peak towering overhead. It's such an impressive mountain from this viewpoint. In just a short while, you'll see the Bierstadt Lake trailhead on your right. At the time of filming, it's currently undergoing construction as they replace toilets with new ones. Bierstadt Lake is a gorgeous lake tucked into deep forest high above this trailhead. It is well worth visiting, but it is a steep climb up there with nearly a dozen switchbacks on the rocky trail. Now, if you want a gorgeous view without a difficult walk, then follow the trail just across the road from the parking lot. In just 5 minutes, it will lead you to Storm Pass Trailhead, where you'll find a small meadow beside Glacier Creek with fabulous views of the mountains. Now, this next stretch of road runs alongside a large hill on your right, known as the Bierstadt Moraine, as it too was deposited here by a glacier. Now, this hillside turns brilliant yellow and orange in late September and early October when the aspen trees change color. As you drive this section, you'll get some fabulous mountain views off to your left and straight in front of you. I wish I had time to introduce you to all of these amazing mountains and all that they have to offer. Now, the next major stop on this road is the Glacier Gorge Trailhead. This parking lot was tripled in size some years ago, but it is still one of the first ones to fill here on Bear Lake Road. We locals sometimes joke that if you see a parking spot here, that you should take it, even if you have other plans, because it might be a long time until you find an open spot again. Because parking here is so difficult, the best way to hike from here is to ride the shuttle bus up to this spot. From Glacier Gorge Trailhead, you can hike to many beautiful locations, but one of the most popular is the hike to Alberta Falls, which is just over 1.5 miles there and back again. Now, I should also mention that you can get to any of these hikes also from the Bear Lake Trailhead. From the Glacier Gorge Trailhead is just a short drive up to our final destination, Bear Lake. As you reach the parking lot, you can't help but be inspired by the mountains towering above it. Those are Hallett Peak on the left and Flat Top Mountain on the right. It always seems like a strange name for that mountain when viewed from this angle, but if you climb up onto the mountain, you'll see why it's called Flat Top. Here at Bear Lake, you are at 9,475 feet in the subalpine zone of the park. From here, there are many wonderful hikes to lots of different places in the park. The most popular of these is up to Dream and Emerald Lakes. But today, I'm going to take you for a stroll around Bear Lake itself. The trail around the lake is just 0.6 miles with just 71 feet of elevation gain. Over the years, I've noticed that most people just walk up to the edge of the lake, enjoy the view that they can see, and then turn around and leave. But let me encourage you to, at the very least, walk to the north end of the lake, or even better, walk all the way around. Now, when you get to the north side of the lake, which should just take you a couple of minutes, you can enjoy one of the most beautiful views of Longs Peak over the lake. It is simply stunning. Now, in the autumn, this north side of the lake turns shades of yellow and orange when the aspen trees change color. It is definitely not to be missed if you're in the area. Walking all the way around the lake will give you a little bit of an idea what some of the other 100-plus lakes here in Rocky are like. Well, I really hope you enjoyed today's drive up Bear Lake Road. It's spectacular, isn't it? Well, my hope is that this gives you a glimpse of what Rocky Mountain National Park has to offer. And that's all that I gave you, was a little glimpse along this 10-mile stretch of road, because there are 415 square miles of incredible beauty set aside for its protection. It's here for us all to enjoy, but I hope as well that we will all learn to protect and care for this special place. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, or even better, leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great trip to Rocky Mountain National Park. To help you prepare for your visit to Rocky Mountain National Park, visit my website, rockymountainnationalpark.com. For hiking guides, calendars, coffee table books, and more, visit rockytrailpress.com. And when you arrive, be sure and stop by my gallery in downtown Estes Park. It's called Images of Rocky Mountain National Park.